Hi, and welcome to another AI in 5. As always, I'm your host, Simon Chris. Joining me today is Candice DeVille, and Candice is the CEO of a company, AI Copilot. We're going to be talking about how we unleash the human potential with AI. Hi, Candice, and welcome to AI in 5.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. We're both in the same city, yet miles apart. I wanted to focus in. I know in your work in particular, you talk about unleashing the human potential in AI, and that's kind of counter to what a lot of people are thinking. They're thinking AI is going to take over from our human side. Do you want to expand on that thinking a bit?
Yeah. So this is something that is really close to my heart, let's say, that
Yeah.
as individuals, whether we're thinking about ourselves, our families, our children, our businesses, we all have so much untapped potential. And that could be knowledge, skills, desires, all of these things. And we've got blocks to how we can achieve that. And sometimes they're mental blocks, sometimes they're physical blocks, even learning challenges.
Mm-hmm.
AI actually really helps us be able to level that playing field and get some of those things that would have been trapped inside us actually out into the world. And whether that's a way of thinking, whether it is, maybe you're someone with wonderful creative ideas, but you've never been able to, hold a paintbrush. So it's being able to make that bridge between what is inside and that locked up knowledge and getting it out there into something really productive and satisfying.
And what's stopping people from just doing? Is it just knowledge of AI? Is it just being scared of a new tool? Or is it being too busy?
Yeah. I think a lot of it is that both the fear and also not knowing how to do that. And
Mm,
being able to work with AI is like a muscle. It's something that we have to practice and it's growing and evolving along with us. So it's kind of like having this really smart child with us and
yep.
we get to guide it and along its journey. But we also learn how it works and what it brings out in ourselves. And that is both in the personal front and in the business front.
And if you what would be a great example of someone or something that you've seen where they've unlocked some human potential?
Yeah, I think just thinking of a business sense, for example, and
Yeah,
we're working with a small company who said, all right, well, we just want our IT team to look after the AI and do things with AI.
of
But
course.
instead, we decided, you know what, we're going to bring everybody into the room because everybody touches pieces of this business and they all
Yep.
have great creative ideas. And often those ideas come from places that you wouldn't know. So in this particular case, the receptionist had a wonderful idea of how to do something
There you go.
had not been able to make that happen. And
Yeah.
so, working with some of the AI tools, she was actually able to sit down and mind map her idea and then put that in a
Mm.
presentation that helped her communicate that to the management team so that it wasn't that idea and that business knowledge just locked up with someone who's never actually asked about it.
Yeah, wow. And what about the counter side that that we all worry about, that anybody who knows anything about AI worries about some of those philosophically ethical concerns. We've just seen in the US a murdered victim being brought back to life through AI and giving testimony type thing.
Mm, mm.
How do we start to address some of that?
Yeah, the ethics question is a really very tricky one. In part because ethics are not global. We don't
Mm.
have the same ethics as everybody else across the
Yep.
world.
Yep.
And so we really have to look at it from a localized standpoint of what are the accepted ethical structures in our society, and then start to build on those and ask really, really good questions about this. So rather than answering the first question of, oh, why should we or why shouldn't we? I think we have to keep asking that same question, why, as we dig
Mm.
through the answers to those ethical questions, the whys and why not. It's really tempting for a lot of businesses to stop when they get a yes, like, oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, okay. But not look any further into it. And I think we have to play devil's advocate when we're working with AI, like really, really look at what could the impact of this be. And even
Mm.
asking AI while you're doing it, get it to help you play devil's advocate, get it to stress test ideas, get it to play out what could potentially happen in 6 months or 12 months with your customer base on something that you've built like this. What are those questions that may come up? Because we don't all have access to a wonderful ethics committee, and being
Mhm.
able to even use AI to answer some of those questions and get us thinking critically about the ethics of what we're applying AI to is something we can use it for as well.
Yeah, I love that idea of using AI to talk about the ethics of AI because it can talk about any topic. Look, we're at time, and I always ask everybody the same question, but for you, I want to tweak the question just a little. Usually, I ask, what's your one bit of advice for an organization? But given our conversation, I'd rather know if somebody is looking to unlock this human potential, what's your best bit of advice about how to get started?
Yeah, I think the first part is having that fundamental understanding of AI, and not just generative AI, but all of it. Understand that it's not
Hmm.
magic, it's math. And you don't have to do the math, but just understand how that works,
Yep.
so that you know where that's coming from. Once you have that foundational knowledge, which you can learn in 1 hour, nice,
Hmm.
simple course, then play.
Yeah.
Play is where we actually unlock these ideas.
Yep.
And playing in your home life is the best way to start. I like to walk around my house every day and keep saying, how could I do this better with AI?
Mm.
How could this process be better? Even how could I have this conversation better with someone, like with my
Yep.
child? If I know I've got to have a really difficult conversation, I'll talk to my AI about that first and get it to give me lots of perspectives so that I can really understand it and then go into that conversation with a lot more clarity and feeling supported. So
There you
there's
go.
lots and
Love
lots of
that.
ways.
Love that. You heard it here, folks. Play with AI. Candice, thanks for being a part of AI in 5.
You're welcome. Thanks, Simon.